Obama administration is doing everything it can to limit gun rights. But Joe Biden, not so much.
Buy a shotgun. Buy a shotgun. Said, Jill, if there's ever a problem, just walk out on the balcony here or walk out, put that double-barrel shotgun and fire 2 blasts outside the house. You don't need an AR-15. It's harder to aim, it's harder to use, and in fact, you don't need 30 rounds to protect yourself.
You know, I couldn't help but think of the Three Amigos. Sorry, someone needs to tell Jill that the vice president's advice might land her in jail. Still with me, Congressman Jeff Duncan, and on the set is one of my favorite sheriffs in the country, Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clarke. All right, Congressman, I have to go to you. This is the same guy who's leading the task force on the new federal gun control laws. He says go out and shoot your gun in the air.
It's amazing. You know, this guy never ceases to amaze me. And it's not the first time that he's left Americans scratching their heads in bewilderment about what he said. Look, a shotgun's a great home defense item, but you don't go out and shoot it up in the air. You know, I go back to the adage, when seconds count, the police are just minutes away. We need to take care of ourselves. She needs to be trained on how to use a shotgun inside the house in case an intruder comes, not going outside and shooting up in the air.
All right, and Sheriff Clarke, look, I can think of negligent homicide charges being brought against someone because you shoot a gun in the air and when it comes down and it kills someone, which has happened, clearly it's a criminal charge.
Well, you know, with all due respect to Vice President Biden, he's wrong on a number of counts. One of them is, as you mentioned, recklessly endangering safety. It's not a matter of just coming down. What if an apartment building's across the street? Firing a gun out a window might be effective for killing a street light, and that's about it. So, you know, he needs to think about these things before he just, you know, throws these things out like that. He's making a bad situation worse when he gives that kind of advice. What I try to do is tell people, hey, look, I'll just give you some information. You have to make those decisions in your situation. First of all, train and educate yourself in the use of that weapon before you have to use it.
Okay,
Second,
well, let me ask you this. Okay, Sheriff, if he's saying buy a shotgun, buy a shotgun. All right, now, you shoot a shotgun in the air, and he's saying it's a lot more it's a lot easier than an AR-15. The truth is, with the shotgun, you're going to have a bigger reach with the bullet, right? Well, it's not a bullet, it's a
the shell, the casing, the bullet, the load that comes out of it. He's patently wrong on that too, because I've fired the version of the AR-15. We use the Smith & Wesson M&P carbine. Okay, it's a .223 load, very smooth. It's the smoothest weapon I've ever fired. A shotgun, just the recoil,
right? You
know, it requires that you have to now bring it back onto the target. You know, he throws this stuff out. It's pretty obvious he doesn't think about it before he does. But
well, not that he doesn't think, Sheriff. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Well, yeah, like I said, with all due respect to the Vice President, you know, you're right. And, you know, if you don't know, you should just leave it to people who do. He's got plenty of people around him that probably could brief him on this stuff. And if the people around here briefed him in that way, then I'd be real worried.
What about the fact, I don't know if we have the screen here, not only, if he's telling her go out on the balcony of the porch and shoot 2 rounds in the air, which we know is dangerous and illegal, it's aggravated menacing, reckless endangerment, can we show a screen? His neighbor is 100 feet away, and I believe there's a school with an outside sports facility right next to the house. Doesn't he know where he lives?
Yeah, not only that, if I was walking down the street and I heard a shotgun, I look and saw a barrel sticking out a window, I think they're shooting at me. And if I'm armed, you know, there might be some return fire.
You're going to shoot back.
Exactly. So.
All right, Congressman, let me ask you a question. You know that this administration is trying very hard to limit gun rights in this country. And in fact, there is an effort by, I think, the Colorado legislature to limit magazine capacity, as they've done in New York. You want those businesses to come to South Carolina.
Absolutely. We're a freedom-loving state, and we would love to have Remington Arms in South Carolina. We'd love to have Magpul, which is the maker of high-capacity magazines, but also a lot of the cosmetic features that the President and Dianne Feinstein have used to classify something an assault weapon are made by Magpul. If Magpul decides to leave Colorado, which they've told the General Assembly in Colorado that they're going to do if they go forward with this legislation, we would love to have them here in South Carolina. We've got a great work environment, a great business climate, and I know Governor Haley will reach out to Magpul and say, come on into South Carolina. You'll like this environment.
All right. Congressman Duncan, thanks so much for being with us. Sheriff, you stay with us. Coming up, not only is the Obama administration chipping away at the Second Amendment rights, but get this, Mexico, that's what I said, Mexico now wants a registry of American